Okay, so here we go with the live stream. So hello to my viewer. And today I decided to go with some replay as opposed to a live experience. And in this case, I'm the blue guy here, and what's rather special here is that at the beginning I did not spawn any troops. I don't remember when I played this, but that was a good round actually. It's been a while though, so we'll see what happened. And I will comment on the way. So what you can see is that at the beginning, I think that was with the Swedish deck that I was playing, judging by the command vehicle name. And as you can see at the beginning, the team I was in did not really care much about the different zone here. So I ended up calling all those command vehicles around the place. Okay, so I'm playing with the Swedish, and yeah, those command. I can see that those Tunguska are really good on the. I think I prefer the Tunguska. Some people say the missile is kind of too weak. So yeah, since I did not really deploy any troops so far, I only brought in some command vehicles to spread them around. I guess the real action on my part will happen later. All I did so far in this replay was to send some planes to destroy those chopper over there. Okay, I'm very curious to see how I will, or actually when I will bring stuff. Now the thing is that I really tried to compensate. My allies didn't bring much command vehicle, and as you can see here, that literally. So I guess in my case, at the beginning of this round, I'm not doing much. I think I might have just waited to see what was happening. Let's speed it up until I start bringing stuff. Because so far the situation is pretty much in our favor. The enemy doesn't bring command vehicle for those zones, which is kind of strange so far. Can perhaps see a little more what the enemy is doing. I can see that there is quite a deployment of troops around there. Lots of AA here. Now let's see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm engaging with my dragon. And they are killing a few planes, but seems that I'm wasting many of my dragons. Just to get rid of those chopper over there. I seem to have killed perhaps a few. Now if we look at my score, I have 750 something. There we go with more dragon over there. So I guess my intention was really to get rid of those chopper. I'm starting to wonder if I wanted to get rid of my dragon. I sent some vegan there. Vegan is the plane with the cluster bomb. So at the beginning, I guess what I'm doing is I'm using my planes mostly because I did not deploy any land force so far. So a couple of airstrike in the center. The enemy anti-air wasn't particularly strong, but as you can see, just killed quite a few enemies there. And some more anti-air. Sadly, I did lose one of my vegan. I decided to cancel an order to another vegan, noticing that the presence of anti-air was growing slowly. Okay, I now call in some troops. Finally, it was about time. As you can see, this is a Swedish vehicle. Looks like a tank, but it's a vehicle. Lightly armored, but good cannon, good accuracy. And they seem to be engaged by some tank over there. Or perhaps if we remove the coloration, we might see something. A10 run going in. Okay, so what I decided to do is to build up the defense in that zone. So IKV-91, which are a vehicle, brought in some hawks. You can see there's quite a bit of enemy air presence, which my vegan decided to take care of. Or I ordered him. Now the vegan is an air-to-ground plane, so they have anti-air missile, but as you can see, they can also they are much better against ground. So it's not so much an air-to-air plane, but the fact that they have air-to-air infrared missile allow them to be effective at shooting down enemy planes, I suppose. So moving in with the STRV, what is that? 103 C. So I think it's the best version. They seem to be taking some punishment from those T-72B. It's because I did receive quite a bit of troops from other people which left. So they left both right and left and center. So as a result of this, I ended up having the entire place to defend by myself. And also those vegans seem very effective at patrolling the sky and shooting whatever shows up as a vehicle. So as you can see, they are simply circling around the battlefield, just shooting everything that shows up. While my vehicle here are suppressing the infantry down there. And I have some VIC anti-air which are keeping the enemy Mi-24 away. I seem very unopposed in terms of air-to-air. Oh, there we go, MiG-21. But the good news is that I have some Hawk, which will target those MiG-21. No, apparently they did not. Well, there seemed to be an offensive on that side. Let's see if I will do anything about that. I can see in the leaderboard here, or the score, that I'm starting to already take the lead in kills. So I'll keep a good eye on the right side in case I send some airstrike, which might be one of the reasons why I'm scoring in. Also the Hawk anti-air here seem to be really buzzy. Or maybe not anymore. Cluster bomb strike there. Oh yeah, here I had some LVGRP RBS 90. These guys were amazing during this game, now I remember. These guys, it's a very good Swedish anti-air. And during this round, they did shut down quite a few planes. I kept bringing in vegan patrols. Which did not seem to target those Wilk there. Oh, there we go. One of them did. Wilk is a very good, I think, Polish tank. Look at that, the vegan just killed 2. 3. So those vegan seem to be particularly effective. Except when they die like this. But you just make them patrol around and they will kill everything that shows up. Seems that the action on the side is rather quiet, and most of the action is happening in the center. MiG-21. Those on fire will shoot it down. There we go. Now look at the accuracy of those things. Accuracy of 11. Range against chopper 2.6 kilometer. Range against airplane 2.1 kilometer. So the range is not really big above you. You will hit it. And HE power of 6, which is actually good. So it seems that what I did is I deployed my tank in that zone right here to ambush the enemy that will show up. It's actually a good strategy. What you do is you deploy your troops into that line of trees, and they will be able to support your infantry from taking, well, to help them take that position there. Let's see what happened elsewhere. Seems that nothing did happen that much. I did receive a lot of troops, but the enemies that were on those sides were not particularly aggressive. Oh, and while here I was suppressing those guys with artillery. I had some French tank here, while the enemy brought some choppers, which French tank can actually take care of that. The Royal Marine did actually. Yeah, MX-40 is a good tank. It shall not be underestimated. Look at that, they even killed an enemy tank over there. While here the airstrike kept coming. I can see those troops suppressing the enemy, which is trying to entrench himself in the building. I did understand the importance of those anti-air in there. So I brought some supplies vehicle. As well as some supply choppers, but I'm not sure that's mine. The STRV 103 has a really fast rate of fire and good accuracy. So they are really good to put into a defensive position to suppress the enemy. Also, I had some Veek coming in reinforcements soon. Also, I think it's pretty good caliber, this tank. 3 HE power. While here, good HE power on those vehicles as well. The Veek is actually a pretty good anti-chopper support vehicle. Very effective. Another vegan run. They are really effective, look at that. Kill a lot of vehicle. Sadly I lost one there, but I killed something in return. I brought in some more Hawk. Seems to be some action going on here. Seem to be mostly air units. But I have those 4 Abrams which are in the forest. Or near the forest, which are suppressing whatever is on the road. But I think the most important fight is really happening here. Where I brought in some more anti-air. And just judging by the amount of troops over there, that's quite a few. Look at that, a lot of company. The enemy is actually managing to advance. And those RBS-90 never miss a plane, which is really amazing. They also have a pretty good rate of fire. Let's see. Rate of fire of 10, that's pretty good for air. And the missile is pretty quick, look at that. They got it again. When you compare this with a Hawk, it has a rate of fire of 5. It's much stronger, but I will say just the fact that it's slow at firing make this infantry in a unit, they're much more effective. There's some action going on here, clearly an offensive. The MX-40 seem to be doing the job to those T-55, which are very weak tank compared to the MX-40. But there's a big chopper push also. But the Royal Marine here should have no problem to deal with T-55. Well, here I'm receiving an attack which doesn't seem to be made of that many heavy tanks, but here they seem to have lost a few T-72 probably. because M1 Abrams are pretty good. They're not the best Abrams, but they do the job very well, no matter the range. Actually, lately I found out that Patton tank have the same cannon as an M1 Abram. So if you want a cheap version of the Abram, the Patton might be it. It's really affordable. You can have many of them. It's really good on the move. So think well about it. I seem to have managed to reduce a lot my anti-air capacity as well as tank capacity there. Because I think my attention is really divided on multiple fronts right now. Not sure if I will lose this position or not. Well, here, some bombardment going on. I cannot do a thing about that. Here as well, they bombard me. And I do not seem to have much anti-air. Oh, I'm bringing in some proper infantry anti-air. Oh, you can see that in the score I actually killed for 6,611 points. So that's quite a bit. And we're leading. Now they actually charged me with choppers, which is a strategy that works well for the pack, usually because they have a chopper with rockets and all that kind of stuff, so they end up simply running through all your defense. But the fact that I had those anti-air infantry here with a fast rate of fire, they are also pretty good against chopper. It just wiped out all their chopper force. Just look at that. Everything is dying. So once again, those troops, pretty amazing. Here I guess this is a case where I could not really bother much with this side of the action. An ally decided to bring some LAV artillery, but I had no means to help him out with the kind of troop I had there. And on top of that, I also had to continue to protect this place. Another plane going down. A few of my anti-air did die as well. Another one. Really hope we'll be able to see the stats of that particular unit of anti-air. Well, here, as you can see, I brought some anti-air, but I was probably busy elsewhere, so I did not unload them, I mean, yet. It's actually rather surprising that the enemy did not push harder on that position, knowing that we did not have it. Let's see why. They do have a lot of units, but what did they see from us? Not much, so they did not really have much of a clue of what kind of defense there was here. They did not have any infantry to sneak in either. They seem to be perhaps scouting with Ural. Well, here I'm slowly losing ground. Starship can be a good idea to defend against chopper, although nah, this starship doesn't have autocannon. So I guess this position is lost for the most part. Here I did unload my anti-air infantry, sending them into buildings where they will likely intercept a lot of stuff. Okay, so the enemy decided to bring in his T-72 using the road, which is a really bad idea if you want to go up a road, because what happened is that these troops here, STRV 103, are simply engaging the enemy, revealing themselves, so the enemy tank can engage those troops. While here my other tanks are just shooting them in the flank. So that ensures maximum amount of loss on their side. But I guess now the enemy is kind of tired of me. So they're bringing in a lot of air units to finish off my defender. Once again, that A unit did kill some more. Oh, that's one bug which I don't understand why it's not fixed yet in the game. Look at that. Some stuff going up extremely slowly. Now, despite airstrike, these tanks are still operational. Another Su-27 just got destroyed. Now, my vegan are patrolling, which means they will likely get rid of that T-72. Another Su-27 got killed. So they did a good push here, it's just that they did not execute it well. Okay, here I have some chieftain, which seem to be doing the job well against those T-72. Oh, these are chieftain MK-10. Are also held by M1A1 Abrams, which is a really bad idea because using Abrams into the forest, it's not efficient. Because at close range, the Abram doesn't really have an edge. If we look on that side, I'm being attacked also. I seem to have some Challenger tank going in. My anti-air are shooting down more Su-27. Yeah, those anti-air infantry are just amazing. They're so good. But it's there and now because of the napalm. They don't seem to use many good tanks. A few T-80. I'm pulling back because of the pressure. There's just too many of them. These are T-80s. And that was it. That game I killed 10,000. See what did all that work. So you can see here Draken did kill a few choppers. Spetsnaz, I don't know how that thing killed Spetsnaz. And here some bucks by a vegan. Not sure how that happened. Oh yeah, that's a vegan. That's right. The vegan has missiles. Vegans here, more kills. T-72 M1 are pretty good, and they worth a lot, so it's good kill. T-72B, that's even better. Lots of T-72B for that vegan here. Some more vegan kills. Chieftain did well. Few kills with that. Some B-72B, that's very expensive. Oh, I think now we're getting into the good stuff. So you can see that anti-air. Look at that. That's a lot of Su-22, Su-7, Mi-24. So a lot of that. Another vegan plane here. Some Wilk, very expensive tank. I did kill a few artillery with that. But as you can see, I did not... I used the artillery to kill some stuff here, but I did not do much. Okay, here we go with more anti-air infantry with the Swedish. Those RBS 90 are really amazing. Killed the MiG-21, Su-22, Mi-24, Su-24, Su-27, a lot of them. Here's some French tank that I did inherit on the right side. Lots of T-72 destroyed. Not the best target, but oh well. Okay, well here, some more anti-air. Su-7, MiG-27, Su-24, Mi-24D, so lots of that. Guess this is really one case where the anti-air made me win. Royal Marine did fight well. These are my tank. That's probably the guy which rushed into the zone and got destroyed. He wasted a lot of T-72 to my tank. Okay, so that's the left flank, which I inherit. It did kill quite a few light transport, a few tanks. Nothing that valuable though. Some strobe, which are really good anti-air, so that's a good thing. And Challenger 2, that's on the right side. And here more anti-air. So this is an interesting replay because it really does show you that if you deploy your anti-air well and the enemy cooperate, well, you can simply kill enormous amount of enemies. I did lose 7,000. I'm not sure. It's probably all the planes because I did use a lot of planes, and I did lose many of them probably. So up to a certain point, I think planes can be your worst nightmare when it comes to your loss, because usually you will lose the most point in planes, and I think the enemy does prove that, because I'm pretty sure that they lost mostly points to my anti-air in this game. So up to a certain point, I will nearly recommend some people not to use planes at all. If you don't know what you're doing, don't use planes. Okay, let's check another replay. Okay, let's go with this one. Please. We're just doing replay because I think many rounds I play. So sometimes I have really great stuff happening, but I'm not showing it to anybody. So it's time to have above 270 replays. So that just showing you. I think playing be with the German deck, judging by the command vehicle. I'm not sure where I'm spawning. Yeah, okay. I seem to be focusing on the right side, so let's speed this up a little. And music Flak Panzer Gepard. Oh yeah, if that's the round that I think it is, that might be good. Or maybe disastrous, I don't know. So I'm speeding up the time now, so that might explain a few things for those which are not familiar. So I did call in some Kyler at the beginning, and here I decided to bring in some Flak Panzer right away, and some Leopard 1A4. So they will converge. The thing is that at the beginning, some people, what they do is they bring in some infantry or tank in that zone. On in, they will just kill everything. So that's why at the beginning, capturing that specific tank about that. So that's why I usually bring in, if I capture the place, I bring some anti-air just to clear any potential chopper transport. And then I bring in some tank, depending the situation. But if there's hostile around here, just don't bother with it. With my Kyler, it's German tank. In this case, it's might be elite, because I think this is a deck which is specialized. I'm receiving some missile fire. I don't see the origin of it. That happen, and you know that there's a hill there. You just keep going. Rest of it there will be an ambush, and I went off-road. Went to the side. Yes, this is a pure German blood. I guess that's one way to put it. It's purely Germanic. So it relies on flak panzer and German tank. It's specialized toward tank. So as you can see, the troops I brought from here, I'm sending into the forest there. While here I'm expecting an ambush, so I'm not bothering with it, and I'm instead moving to the side here where there's a small entry in there. And the Kyler is actually a good tank for close quarter combat because it has an auto cannon, so that can just stun the enemy. Here what I report is tank there and ATGM. I think these were not ATGM, but perhaps some tank. It's just that I did not really have the time to notice. Now you can see that my flak panzer Gepard are escorting my Leopard around the place. And they are effectively dealing with choppers. This is a good way to move in with your tank because the flak panzer can fire on the move. And your main enemy is choppers when you have tank. So destroying the choppers is really important. So now here those tank might have been destroyed, I'm not sure. But I just decided to bypass them. And the thing is that what you need to see in this game is that sometimes, sure, it's important to destroy some unit, but sometimes just bypassing them might be even more effective. So that's why I'm not, focusing on destroying this. I'm just continuing to move forward with my tank. Now also by simply going around like this, I'm shooting those T-74 in the side, and also my Kyler are suppressing enemy infantry reinforcements. While here, by moving forward, I'm creating a kind of anti-air presence with my flak panzer Gepard, because the direct route from their entry of air units will go through that forest. So as a result of this, I'm establishing truly a kind of anti-air presence. Also, as you can see, I'm not grouping all my flak panzer all together, so it's really a kind of complex mutual support system that I'm doing now. Well, it's not that complex, but it does work. BMPT can be dangerous, no matter what you're using. But I'm using tank, which have a tendency to better survive BMPT attack. But it's clear that even there, my Kyler are not the most amazing tank, and when they expose their flank, it can be a problem. My flak panzer are keeping the planes away. And the good thing here is that the Masta here is bringing some tank to support me. Some Leopard 1A5, which are a good tank. That's some Tungushka over there. Moving in with the Kyler. The Kyler has a good armor, but sadly it's not impenetrable by autocannon. And the Tunguska are actually pretty good at stunning your tank. But the good news here is that the move from the mast on the left side really fixed my situation here. So we can simply move forward for that position without that much loss, I think. Maybe a few are pushed toward the enemy. Now my problem at that point was fuel. My Kyler had a long way to go, so they were starting to be out of fuel. Same here. Well, actually not necessarily here. I think the Leopard 1A4 is actually pretty effective in terms of fuel, but fortunately here the fortune favored me. So I captured some Ural with some remaining fuel. Sadly, the supply went into fixing my Kyler as opposed to the fuel. Here I'm leaving some flank panzer in the rear, which is probably a mistake. Oh good, the Kyler have some fuel now. Mr. Elfie is helping out clearing that wood with some Bradleys, which are really effective at close range. And here with those Leopard, I'm suppressing some T-64B, which are actually a good tank. And I don't think they really saw me. And the guy which was probably in control of them did not really notice either. So you can see here actually that I'm hitting, but I'm not necessarily killing all the time. That's because these tanks are really tough. And of course, if you hit them on the side, you will kill them much faster. You can also notice that the attention of the enemy was on our main offensive there. So by going there very smoothly and without much noise, I suppose that we did manage to surprise them in that zone. Now my flak panzer are suppressing the infantry and killing them ultimately. Those Skyler are running out of fuel again. The supplies were not sufficient. But I think if you're in a zone where there's a lot of close quarter combat, the Kyler is probably one of your best tanks for this situation because of the auto cannon. But of course, against infantry and building, might not be the best thing ever. Because I'm losing one right here. Fortunately, my AA is suppressing those guys, and the Bradley here will likely finish off the defender of that fuel tank, I suppose. While here, my flak panzer are still killing more planes. It's kind of hard in the replay to notice the planes when you zoom in. We seem to be suppressing the enemy with rocket fire. But to be honest, that is probably American rockets, and unless you know what you're shooting on, it's usually not worth it. Big attack of Mountaineer. Now my flak panzer here are out of fuel. Same with the Kylers. I have some supplies here. Not sure what I'm doing. There's more T-64B over there. That's the same tank as the one I destroyed here. So it might be a little tricky for my tank, that's why I'm pulling them back. Essentially, I poked out the the enemy is actually sending patrols. What's interesting about the Flak Panzer or any gun units is that they have a tendency to damage the enemy planes, which force them into being repaired for a while. So that can be one way to see it. As you can see, there's plenty of malfunction now on the planes when they get hit, and that means that the person cannot replace the plane, so they are stuck fixing it. Well, if you kill it, the other player, sure, it gives you points, but the other player can simply buy another one and send an airstrike right at you. Okay, so as you can see now, my issue is fuel. My Leopard are low on fuel. But we're advancing well on that complex there. We're also advancing here. Actually, two of us are advancing. Okay, I guess at this point I'm just waiting for supply. More and it's clear to me that the closer you get to the spawn point, the more airstrike you'll receive, so the Alpha jet strike, and I moved in with my command vehicle there, which I had anticipated. So I'm capturing this place, and this way we can bring in reinforcements or airstrike from that zone and continue our push. Bring in all my troops, which I will send toward the FOB, and hopefully refuel and allowing my troops to continue to push toward Victor. Well, here I'm refueling my Kyler. So that was a good move. Alfie's clearing out a few command vehicles over there. I'm deploying some Alpha Jet to kill a few things. Slow down a little the thing because it's weird. I'm deploying my Flak Panzer really close to their spawn. This way, if they bring in air support, I can shoot them down. But now we already destroyed the command vehicle. It was quite a column of... So Alfie decided to bring a command vehicle, which is a very smart move. And now we're pushing in. I brought some Leopard 2A4. Probably the best German tank. Very expensive also. Hello. So, moving into the wood there. We're actually shooting down those Grand, which are MLRS. Now the problem is that I only have 3 tanks, and no matter how many tanks you have, fighting in the forest is a bad thing. And Leopard 2A4 is not the best weapon for that kind of thing. Bro came in. Look at the amount of fuel over there. Will I play Men of War 2 when it comes out? Probably. Well, hopefully. I think this is a great game, and I think I'll do some videos of it. Well, I don't know if it's a great game, but I hope it's a great game. It has some good potential. I think at this point the enemy just decided to rush all his stuff toward us, and my Leopard were ready to accept the challenge, so you can just see them destroy everything that shows up all around the place. And there we go, so I had 4,000 kill and 1,300 death. Now if we check who did well, the Kyler were pretty much the one that did most of the job. A few Flak Panzer did kill quite a few enemies, including many chopper here. Actually that's my Ronin. Leopard 2A4, that's toward the end, so it's a big enemy push. Here, Leopard 1A4, pretty good tank, but I'm just looking by what kind of stuff it killed. It was a lot of artillery, so it's really toward the end where I just killed everything. Well, that was another good round. Okay, let's do another replay. What's interesting is that the Men of War Soul Squad 2 will come out probably soon. I think it's about in a month or something like that. And there's also Call to Arm, which is another game Digital Mindsoft is making. So that seemed to be two interesting games. Same engine, same kind of gameplay. It's just that Call to Arm will be modern. So that's another version which might be interesting. Okay, what is this? Oh yeah, this was a game with an American deck which rely a lot on T60. No, not T60, sorry. M60. So it's patent tank. Which is a tank you don't see that much on the battlefield, but when you look at it, the M60A3 patent has the same cannon as an M1 Abrams. So it has the same punch, the same capacity, the same stabilizer. So it's the same tank, it just has less armor, less range, and probably is easier to spot. But it's much cheaper, so it's an Abram, but cheap version, essentially. So we'll go with that. Okay, so I went for Tango. Also had to bring in, oh yeah, that round. I remember what that is. It was a very weird round. So I sent some infantry here just for recon purpose. Now the main problem I had while attacking here was the fact that those Mi-24V were there, and my pattern are not particularly good, and the Vulcan doesn't have a good range, so chopper were a big enemy there. So here I actually misplaced my command vehicle at the beginning. That just show you how focused I was over here. So the thing is that this deck is actually a deck which is a 1980. I will not be able to show it to you because I deleted it. So it's a deck which did not satisfy me. It relies mostly on those patterns, which are actually a good thing. And it relies a lot on 1980 tank, so as well as a lot of F-16 and F-16, which is the first version of the F-16, so it doesn't have that many cluster bomb. I think it also has some aardvark, and I think in this round I will actually use that quite a bit. On that side I had most of my army, which I decided to spread out with riflesmen. Since we did not knew what was over there, and I still don't, so I should take a look. So you can see here a lot of artillery in the back. A couple of anti-air here with very few ATGM infantry. But the main danger was really those Mi-24. And I think I did try on a few occasions to actually destroy those. Well, here I did an F-16 strike on the forest, knowing that there will be some tank or something of the sort. And I deployed my riflemen over there just to make sure that to have a good eye on Quebec. Now, as you can see, those Mi-24 were nailed marker, because I needed them gone since I had absolutely no anti-air around the place at that time. Now the guy of my team brought an F-16, which got destroyed very quickly. F-16 probably wasn't the right tool to get rid of those chopper. I will say that your fighter don't use them against chopper unless it's a very specific. Now, of course, if there's chopper in your territory and you know there's no anti-air around, then it's a good idea because you can afford to make multiple pass. But are not a good match in terms of attacking them. So, decided some infantry, which is a smart move actually. Infantry is. Only had a few riflemen to hold them, which is far from enough. Now let's see a little more against. So there was only which ended up being much better than a single group of riflemen that were there only for recon purpose. So they attacked me and destroyed that. Now I decided to bring an aardvark, which had a traditional bomb and will simply bombard that forest, hopefully destroying whatever was in there. Also, I decided to move tank, which was also pretty much core of this. Pretty amazing as a tool. Because with the fire you can actually cut the line of sight of the enemy. So not only will you hurt the enemy, but you will also cut their line of sight. Now, one of the problem I had was still those choppers. Fortunately, not a chaparral, which actually managed to blow up two at once. 4 rounds. Fortunately, the enemy did not take advantage of that. Now here, the enemy, on the other hand, did manage to which I once again answered by calling in Aardvark. Now it was a blind bombardment. So I did hit it with one bomb. Well, here you can actually see the Zippo at work. Just burning everything. Or actually getting blown up. With a few Dragoons, which well, these are APC with Dragoons. And I think they have 3 rounds. Yeah, they do. I decided to use that with Riflemen. Because the Riflemen are mostly good at short range, while the APC will have a chance to fire a few shots, but that's certainly not an APC which you should rely on. The position, I should say. So well as burning the whole place. But there was more chopper against at the time. Here there's which are actually good against infantry. Now with my Aardvark I did a cluster bomb strike on those Mi-24. Killed 2 of them. That wasn't enough, and I'm not sure. Yeah, my Aardvark did survive, which is a good thing. Which is not a chopper you should use for air-to-air combat. Those Mi-24V. So if you have a Cobra and you see enemy chopper, don't bother. Just run away. I did still have my Vulcan. Did not move forward. I'm not sure if that was a good infantry over there, but it's clear that those Motostrelski were a problem. My ally decided to use his fighter against that. Well, here I had my 4 Vulcan, which I brought in the beginning. So they shut down, or actually suppressed the enemy over there. And I also did an Aardvark and Fighting Falcon strike on those choppers. Well, sadly, one of them completely missed. But they were still finished off by those Vulcan over there. One issue with the Vulcan is that the ammo goes away so quickly. Well, here I did a move with my Patton to secure that place. And the guy I was fighting decided to leave. I'm not sure why, because the situation wasn't that bad for him, I think. Some Aardvark strike with the regular bombs. From me. And a Falcon strike on that Mi-24. Because I knew that at that point the guy which was using those wasn't there anymore, and that meant that somebody else had them under his control. As a result of this, I knew that this... You can see that my Vulcan here only left. They really consume an enormous amount of ammo for their effectiveness, but it's okay to hold and suppress the enemy choppers. It seems that my Patton actually shut down the chopper there. And with 60 rounds, that Vulcan will not kill much. Moved in my Vulcan further into the enemy, I suppose. So I moved in my Patton, which were slowed down by their track in the mud. That's a T-64BM. That's much more valuable than those T-62 MI. I did another Aardvark strike on that position. And this time I made sure that I will kill them. Well, I did bring more than one aardvark. So I did dispose of those tank with airstrike. But I'm pretty sure that if my airstrike had not been there, my pattern would probably have done the job. Okay, let's speed things up. Okay, I did call in an aardvark strike but cancel it because I did not knew what was going on there. I brought some command vehicle from the side. The enemy did fire a missile on it, but without hitting. This guy here decided to make an attack. Oh yeah, that part. He is actually sneaking around. And let's take a good look. There's actually 2 units of Spetsnaz which are sneaking around. So I did an airstrike on them and did kill one. But there's another one which was still loose. So as a result of this, I decided to call in some pattern. Because I was expecting them to come from that hill, because that would have been an easy way in for their troops to sneak all the way from there to here. So I did deploy some troops here. I think that will be a worthy replay to watch because of what I do next, which is a little excessive. So you can see that the Spetsnaz is moving there, but I'm still expecting them from there. So as a result of this, I'm actually bringing in a lot of Zippo, which are flamethrower, and I will actually cover the entire area around my command vehicle with Zippo. I will also bring in one more command vehicle because my command vehicle was right there, and since I knew that it will be possible for the enemy to sneak from that side, we'll see. Okay, well here it seems that some of the action went on to that side, so I decided to bring in a couple of aardvark and bombard the whole place, including the side there. That was a kind of a guess because we had no idea where was the command vehicle, but it was right there. So essentially, if I had bombarded this small piece of forest, I probably would have saved us quite a few loss. I think at that point on that side there wasn't much going on anymore. So here I brought in a command vehicle. Okay, now I'm starting to remember what really happened in there. So knowing that this zone will be secure with all the Zippo around the place, I can see that they are actually bombarding me here. And now the Spetsnaz are right here. The guy is sneaking them behind my line. But I did bring in a command vehicle over there, so I moved this command vehicle away. But that single Spetsnaz here was really a pain, so he did manage to kill my Kiowa, which is actually a very weak unit in terms of armor. For some reason in this replay system, sometimes you end up faster than it should be. Look at all this. Somebody decided to bring some artillery. You can just see the amount of artillery shooting. So here I literally established a big anti-air system. So I deployed my Vulcan in the front, which are actually pretty good at stunning the enemy planes. While I had some Hawk in the back, which have a very long range and will be able to shoot away very far and kill those planes. Then I deployed some chaparral into the front of the forest there, which will probably be able to intercept any incoming chopper attack, which was very likely considering all the Mi-8T and Mi-24V. So the chaparral will have been able to deal with this. Well, on that side, I think at this point nothing else happened of any importance. So they did destroy my command vehicle there, but for a short while we had the resources from that point. Now, one of the issues I had was that with that many Hawk, it was really hard to supply. So I had to bring in all my supplies. So a lot of supply trucks and later on some choppers and everything. Now, what actually happened here is that I guess the NATO team ended up being much more aggressive because they wanted to take Yankee, and I think that was a big mistake because all the enemy decided to defend that place. As a result of this, it was much harder to get in. And the anti-air, well, just plane presence was just too much. Well, here some Akuda came in to arrest my troops. Now, this guy was a big fan of artillery, obviously. Couple of Su-24. Now the problem with Hawk and that kind of stuff is that they have a very slow rate of fire. As a result of this, if there's many planes coming at once, it will usually all target the same one, and as a result of this, the other one might have the time to get out. So if the enemy bring the planes one after the other, you might have a chance, but if they all come together, I just have a rate of fire which is too slow. And also the missile of the Hawk is rather slow, so well, I guess all things considered it's faster than a plane, but the chances are that while you have a long range, the enemy might be out of the zone prior to your missile reaching him. There is other anti-air system which have much faster missiles, so sometimes having a good diversity of anti-air might be a good idea. I can see here that on the side the enemy decided to bring, I think, what is T-72 offensive, which was not completely visible at that time, but my Vulcan are suppressing them. There's also an offensive of tank on that side as well. So what I did is I brought in some M1 Abrams, which you can see here, because I was kind of expecting with so much pressure on the enemy part that they will actually break through, especially since what was mostly holding them right now was just the Vulcan. And Vulcan doesn't have much chance against a tank. And while this is happening, my anti-air are still holding pretty firm. The thing is that right here in front of my Highhawk I had a lot of chaparral, so if the Highhawk will not intercept the enemy air units, my chaparral will probably do it. And even though those chaparral are actually the worst one, once they fire, they can be very effective. So here you have some of my patent tank, which are actually killing stuff. Forcing the enemy to pull back with his T-72. Just look at the amount of planes flying above. My Abrams in the forest right there took a few shots, but it's really the patent that did the job in this one. And I will remind you that those two tanks have the same cannon, so... Incoming a rocket attack there. Definitely heading toward those artillery pieces which used to be there. Now, despite NATO being a little careless about attacking this whole place, the score are still pretty even. Incoming big air attack. As you can see, my Hawk only did kill one in that volley. And that was it. So in that round I did 3,200 kill and 1,800 loss, so that was pretty even. When we look at what really did the job, my Aardvark did kill quite a few. I have multiple Aardvark, of course. And the Vulcan did take care of those chopper. A lot of chopper were killed by my Vulcan, also by some F-16. And yep, that was a pretty good round. But when you look at it, most of my stuff did not kill that many. So the thing is that the deck I used in that round, it was prior to 1980. And it's a US, I think, specialized in tank. And the problem with that deck is that it's okay, you can win with it, but it's average. So it's not, it doesn't have the number to be able to push forward, and it doesn't have the quality to kill many. So it's a kind of a deck which did not really satisfy me. So that's why I ultimately deleted it. So, but nonetheless, I think this round was pretty good for this deck. So I think that will be it for today live broadcasting. I would like to know if you guys actually appreciate replays, because I have quite a few, as I said. And I guess probably tomorrow or the day after I will do some more live streams, so I'll see you guys there. So be happy until then.